I know you were wondering, ladies and gentlemen, maybe we were still stuck in summer. Maybe we didn't change in seasons, but no, ladies and gentlemen, have no fear. We have returned here in prime time in the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music and wrestling matters, Sportswire Radio, and I can assure you tonight will be a season of falls. A season of falls that maybe starts first this Saturday, but concludes next Saturday with our and new WVWF Hybrid Champion. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about where our guest has been these last few months. We'll talk about what we saw last weekend, and we'll talk about what has led us here now to really what has been months in the making, to really get what something that has belonged to him for a very long time. You've heard the back and forth between our guest and the current hybrid champion. You've seen what the Double L has said in the past on here. You've seen what has been said on the WVWF Facebook pages. But now we are getting you ready for what's in store this coming Saturday. We're also going to have another announcement of a champion coming on to Sportswire Radio from the WVWF who hasn't been on here in weeks and is going to talk about maybe what's going to happen this weekend, where it's been a match that's kind of been in the making from this platform. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about maybe some other things. You're here in the chat. Our guest hasn't been here in over 2.5 months, and he wants me to get ready, so I'm going to do it right now because in the famous words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, let's get rocked, baby, and start this show and start the fall season here in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So with that, wait for fucking ado here on the Sports Report. Number one cable sports show. He's the host of one of the up-and-coming shows on YouTube, Mav TV. He has been one of the all-time OGs in the West Virginia wrestling circuit. He calls himself the next new WVWF hybrid champion, but his name is simply but Cody Maverick. My friend, how are we doing?
I am doing wonderful. How are you doing, Tom?
I'm doing really good, especially after that intro. Had a wonderful meal here in downtown Manhattan. I got a chance to come on here and talk with you. It's been a minute. It's going to be a busy week here on Sportswire Radio. We've got a lot of WVWF coverage. We're going to make up for the last couple of weeks, and I couldn't think of a better person to kick that off, and I also couldn't think of a better person to kick off the new season here on Sportswire Radio. You think about the season of fall, it's a new season. You think about TV shows coming back, everybody's getting ready, and I could not think of a better person to get us ready for that. But my friend, the one and only Cody Maverick. We have to start things here because for those that are listening and watching in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you and the WVWF have most certainly helped build, Sportswire Radio, talk about why now you have decided to return to the WVWF to get you on that road to claiming what rightfully has been yours for over 4 months and become that next and new WVWF hybrid champion.
Yeah, Tom. Simply you just said it all. For 4 months I've been, just trying my hardest. Pretty much, the last opportunity I had, I kind of got screwed over. Not once but twice. There's,
We
three
talked about that
pinfalls.
here. Yep,
Yeah,
we
we
talked
did.
about
Yeah, I
that.
don't want to repeat it. But I mean, and then I sent out a video and get suspended.
Yep.
So then after that, my suspension was up, and I just thought the time was up. But I seen that, Ryan Steele was out there with James Enoch, and that's who has the belt. So I wanted to make sure pretty much, he was okay, so that I can come back and pretty much take what I've been fighting
We're going to
for the
show that
last.
footage here in a few
Yeah.
minutes. We have the footage. We have the poster of what's to come this Saturday where you get that chance to get what is rightfully yours and what you've deserved for over 4 months. But, there's an irony to what you said, and we're going to play that footage shortly. You came out to help James Enoch, the Chemical Valley gunslinger, but yet it was months ago where he kind of, put on the other side of what happened to him. And he had said a number of different things here on this platform last. And I kind of think the irony of all this, that you helped the Chemical Valley gunslinger of all people after what happened with him and Ryan Steele. Don't you see the irony in all this?
I mean, I do. I mean, I know it's, shocking, but I took it as, what's Ryan still out there doing? If he takes out, Enoch, then,
You
my
wouldn't get
chances,
your
I gotta
shot at
look.
what's yours. Yeah.
Exactly. That means he's on the sidelines with the belt at home. That's what I want.
What has these last few months been like? Because you and I were talking, we talk obviously periodically, and it's been a difficult last few months because we know how much you've wanted that hybrid championship. You've zeroed in on that. We talked about when you first came on here before the Ryan James Memorial Show about winning the world championship, but really what you've wanted is that hybrid championship. And I know you definitely quote what Mr. Enoch said here, his appearances on Sportswire, where he spoke about that he wanted to remake the hybrid championship. He wanted to make it the workhorse title, the measuring stick championship, in some ways kind of almost outsizing the world championship. I'm not going to go down that road and compare and contrast, but that's how he kind of saw things. But what has these last few months been like for you, where you've had to sit at home and you finally now got that opportunity you seized and is going to lead us to what's in store this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, nothing's worse than, being on the sidelines, just sitting at home, like watching live on Facebook, knowing you're 3 hours away, and if you show up, then there's more consequences. So I just pretty much just stayed at home and chilled, just pretty much just studied, see what's going on. Yeah, I did watch Enoch's match with Phoebe Harper or Phoebe
Yes,
Harper.
Phoebe Harper, yeah.
Yeah. And then he had a awesome match with Tafua.
Yes,
And
that was what happened where actually Ryan Steele ran in, because we know that was the title for title match. We spoke about, I'm glad you brought that up, because that was, I think, the last segment we had on Sports, but when we had Tafua here, we had the collective, and you saw the collective ironically right after this, and we spoke about what that would have meant in the title for title match, where there was an opportunity Tafua had, in addition to being the USWA Universal Champion, to be the hybrid champion. And for all we know, if Tafua had won that match, we could have been talking about you and Tafua, or conversely, if Enoch had retained and won the Universal title, we could talk about you as, Cody Two Belts. But alas, that didn't happen, and that's kind of where we left off and such.
Cody Two Belt sounds nice.
You
It
know,
does. Just thought that
for
I had
you
to
it would
put
have
that
been
out
great. I
there.
mean, I'm sure that you would have hoped for. I mean, you would have hoped for either Tafu or Enoch would have got the job done, and it was a heck of a match. But it wasn't meant to be. It just was not
Mhm.
meant to be, and and that's kind of where you had your seizing the opportunity to come back after which is kind of a long hiatus because we've had I think 3 or 4 different WVWF shows since you last wrestled Mr. Enoch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any regrets on the way things went? Anything that you regret that had
Uh,
gone differently?
I mean, I just kind of wish I didn't put that video out, threaten everybody. But then
But you had
again,
to listen. You had to get the opportunity, and
right,
I'm
right,
glad
right.
that you said that. And we'll put some WVWF links up here in a minute. I'm gonna definitely get to the people here in the chat, but I kind of think what you said maybe in a way caught Mr. Enoch's attention because I'm sure you remember when the Chemical Valley Gunslinger was here. I had asked him about different people that he was going to defend this championship on. I alluded to the fact that he wanted to make the hybrid title, the measuring stick, the workhorse championship. And when your name came up, he was like, I'll wrestle anybody. And if he's in front of me, yeah, I'll wrestle him again. I feel bad about what happened. I feel bad about the way things went. I'm a competitor. I'll just go out there and wrestle anybody. And, he didn't necessarily disagree or agree with what the Double L had decided when it came to your suspension, but he kind of left the door open for having another match with you. We talked about Phoebe Harper. You alluded to that. Tafu is certainly, I mean, Daniel Tafu, I have to mention it that way. I mean, he's
Uh,
one of my favorites on here, but really what it came down to, and I think the Chemical Valley Gunslinger knows it, is that deep down, he's going to have another match with you come hell or high water. And you've got that opportunity and you're going to seize it this Saturday. But I really believe that when Enoch was here, he kind of left that door open for you to getting another shot more so than anybody else he was going to square off with for that hybrid championship.
mhm. Yeah, it's like I said, it's common. I mean, it's just that Ryan Steele's just in the way.
Well, he's definitely in the way, and I'm going to show the audience why Ryan Steele is in the way. And I'm going to take this off the screen because I'm going to make the hockey line transition because hockey season's come. Because I don't want to talk about baseball season, right? Because I'm a Mets fan. And speaking of sitting on the sidelines, the way the Mets are playing, they're going to be sitting on the sidelines. But I'm not going to talk about that. We're here to talk about the WVWF, thankfully. So let me put this up on the screen because I've got it right now. And thank you to the Maverick himself, the crack staff, which, Maverick gave us the video. He gave us the licensing rights to play the video. I was trying to think of a funny line, but,
There you
here's the
go.
funny line. But there you go. And, we'll start off from the very beginning because, wait a minute, I see Ryan Steele, and then I see James Enoch, and they're trading barbs. And, I mean, this is not what I expected. I see a code breaker, and all of a sudden, James Enoch's down, and he's almost kind of in a position that you've been in the past. And I mean, Ryan Steele's looking, and I think he's looking at that hybrid championship. But then wait a minute, hold the phone, because is it what I think I see? Yes, it is. After an over 3-month absence, it is Maverick himself. Maverick is back. And boy, you are coming in there like a house of fire. Ryan Steele's getting you down with those clotheslines, but I just know you're not going to stay down. He hit you with a code breaker, but something tells me that that's all going to be for naught. But he's got that hybrid championship. That's the championship you've long wanted. That's that measuring stick championship as the current incumbent. James Enoch, the Chemical Valley Gunslinger, has called it, and we see Ryan Steele just pointing and holding that championship over you. And, well, for good measures, James Enoch, the incumbent himself, and I see you. We all see you, and just tell me what's going through your mind here right now.
Uh, just with that code breaker, this it comes out of nowhere pretty much. I wasn't, expecting that right then and there. So yeah, that was like an easy study right there, just to know that that comes out of nowhere. So be prepared. But
But you
yeah,
got
like
up,
I,
but you got up, thankfully. Thankfully, you
yeah,
got up,
yeah,
you
that's,
know,
hmm
you got up. But what's to me most interesting is that you lifted James Enoch up, the man that we know hurt you in that match. And Mr. Enoch talked about that. We know who Mr. Enoch's been aligned with the last few months, but I guess it was a sign of mutual respect. And
yeah,
why did
yeah,
you lift up James Enoch?
pretty much just for, to show him that, because he was knocked out, and I was just trying to show him that, I'm still here, get up, kind of, like, yeah, I respect you for beating me, like you said, and then just boom, just I'm still coming for this, bud.
So I guess
That's
that was your way of helping him and giving him a receipt for
yeah,
what
but
happened the
pretty
last time, huh?
yeah, pretty much just seeing if he noticed it, me in the ring, and then bam, because he just got hit with that, that code breaker just
Yep.
in that match with.
And then you hit him, like I said, you lifted him up, sign of mutual respect, but then you gave him a receipt for a few months ago and you left. I mean, just
Boom.
a really interesting segment. And I mean, obviously, just that's why we're excited about what's at. I'll put up your YouTube link in a minute, but I mean, but you've got Ryan Steele first, and Ryan Steele is in your way. He now wants something that you have rightfully wanted for over 4 months. I mean, talk to me about what we can expect this Saturday.
Well, before we go with Saturday, I just want to say it's pretty awesome to be out for 4 months and get that loud pop where you can't even hear your theme
Well,
song.
I'll put that, you know
You
what?
know,
That's a good, you know what? I'll put the volume up for when you return. Before I do that, though, I want to put up your YouTube link. I want to be able to put that in the description for people because I see some people here, some friends from different places who are coming in and returning to Sportswire soon. So first, let me do this. Let me go like this because that way, let's get those subs up. So if you're here right now, go hit the sub button for Maverick. He's also got his own show we're going to talk about in a few minutes where he basically goes and talks about his history. So hit that sub button for me. Let's get those subs up, but let's put the volume up when you get ready to return. And here we go.
I did. You gotta go all the way back, Tom, to where I come out. That's when the big pop is.
All right, so you know what? Let's go from the beginning. All right, I'll go even.
Uh-oh.
I know we're behind it, but let's go from the beginning. Wait a minute. Is that what I think? There it is! There it is! It's Cody Maverick! It's Maverick! It's Maverick! Yes! 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 Man, those cheers, those WVWF fans, they let you know that
Oh
they missed
man.
you. They let you know that. Now,
Oh
we're not done. We're not done with the fans. Maverick, 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 Maverick,
they're
Maverick,
on it.
Maverick.
Man, they're hot for me right now.
They just fired up.
I know.
go, Maverick! Oh! There it is.
I can't even do no hill turn.
Yeah, you got the same problem the other Cody has. Cody Rhodes has. All right, we'll take this off the screen now. Yes, definitely. Let's go, Maverick. 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 Okay, we can take that off the screen now. But yeah, the Richardson building definitely, they let you know, those fans, they missed you. They missed you, Maverick. They missed you.
It's not. That's it's nice to know that I was wasn't a stranger.
How'd that feel? I mean, how'd that feel to just come out there? I mean, obviously, I know you kind of were the definition of a Maverick in that segment, but I mean, how did that feel? Because the fans were just, I mean, they were loud. That's a building that they'll tell you whether they like you or not, and they were fired up last weekend.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I didn't like was lying to the fans. They were asking me if I'm coming, if I'm going to be there. And, just saying, well, I don't know. I haven't got a match yet. Technically I didn't lie because I wasn't booked.
You didn't have a match,
but
you weren't. But you weren't announced in a match. You weren't. There was no announcement.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that kind of was like a bummer.
I mean, I didn't know. I mean, listen, you and I talk, and I didn't see anything about you on the car. Like I said, Tafua was the last. The collective were here. They were here a couple weeks ago, right before the 13 show. And we talked about Tafua and Enoch. There was no mention of you. You weren't brought up in this because we didn't know. We knew that you were on suspension, and the suspension, you would come back when the time was right. And at that moment, that's when you decided to come back. And ultimately, none of us knew. None of us knew.
Yeah.
I don't even think Courtney Wood knew.
No. And it was, I personally feel it was booked really well for that, just because, like, I would come early and the fans would see me arrive and know I'm there, but I showed right up at bell time. Only, the guys in the back, knew I was there. So it was a better, excitement, I think. It was really well, prepared and booked right, I feel.
Well, it was definitely a good moment, but obviously that moment really wasn't a great moment because Ryan Steele, well, he knocked you down, and that's what I want to talk about here for a few minutes because I have that poster once again. I want to refer to it because, I mean, this is the first time you're going to be in the ring with Ryan Steele, and it's going to be one of the most important matches of your career. You've come on here 3 times now over this past year, and every time you've come on here, there's always been a big moment. And you've got an opportunity to have one of the biggest moments of your career. But first, you've got to defeat Ryan Steele, and he's the third man of this component. And right now, he might be more dangerous than the match you've been wanting for over 4 months with Mr. Enoch, because look at what he did not only to you, but also the incumbent. And he's the one that's kind of getting slept on here. What's your thoughts on what can we expect now this Saturday?
Right. Well, with Ryan Steele, he's always been on my corner, on my side. I never had opportunity to go one-on-one with him. This is, one in the making. We're a team, but never, one-on-one. I think this is going to be, me as a fan of pro wrestling, I think this is going to be an awesome match just because of our chemistry together. Pretty much. I mean, it's gonna be a brawl. I'll tell you that. I'm not gonna just give up. He's gonna have to, beat me till I can't get up. It's pretty much what's gonna happen. Whether we go on 7th Street or if we go all the way down to the Sonic down the road, it's gonna be a street. We're gonna fight. It ain't gonna be a wrestling match because we both, want something, and there's got to be a winner for this. So.
Yeah, let me get your thoughts on this because I'm curious, and I was thinking about this as I was on my way home, getting ready to talk with you. this almost reminds me of one of those games. I know you're a football fan. I know you're a sports fan, and this reminds me of basically one of those. It's not a championship match, but it is a championship match, and let me tell you why. Because obviously, the winner of this match goes on next Saturday and gets that match. They get
Mhm.
that match with Enoch. We know what Steele did in the segment. We know what you've said about that championship, and even what Enoch has said about you in previous appearances on Sportswire. But I feel that this match has something to it. There's some electricity, there's some juice. It's one of those win or go home kind of matchups. It's to me
Right.
one of those, like, it's the last game of the regular season. It's a tiebreaker game. Major League Baseball, we got pennant races coming down to the wire this coming weekend. We still got a few of them left. You're a Midwest guy, got the Guardians and the Tigers, the NL wild card, all stuff, the AL wild card. And it reminds me of one of these winner go home matchups. It's almost a championship match, but it's not a championship match. I mean,
Right.
how do you feel about a match like this? Because I think there's just as much on the line here as it will be next Saturday.
Yeah, like that's like you were saying, it is, the feel of it is like, win or go home. And that's kind of basically what I've been like preparing for Saturday. Um, with just like with our history together, no one ever seen me versus Ryan Steele before, so it's a big, it is a big deal, like you were saying, like kind of like a championship game, but win or go home. And that's pretty much how I'm going to take it as is, just win or go home. I mean, WVWF gave me, I don't know how many chances, three, four. I lost count after two of just giving me an opportunity for this title, and it's just I don't know if it's going to be my last, just like the
We spoke
heavyweight
about that
title.
here. Listen, we spoke about you were here first with the Ryan James Memorial Show. We had talked about that World Championship. We had talked about what that would have meant to your career. And we know, unfortunately, you came up short. We then talked about the match you had with Enoch right afterwards. And we know what's happened to you since. You've been on the shelf. You had to sit at home. You had to sit at home while Enoch got to defend that championship. He got to say what he wanted to say here, and now Ryan Steele is trying to steal your thunder pretty much. And like you said, this, it is to me the definition of a win or go home, because we know how long you've been in this sport. We know that there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees that you'll get another shot here. That's why, to me, this is just the definition of a win or go home match.
Right? And that's pretty much how I feel about it too. I mean, there's nothing, what I mean? I can't really tell you anything more than just, it's like to me, yeah, I understand what everybody feels that this is like, win or go home type of match, and that's how I'm taking it too. And it's just I gotta watch out for that code breaker because I wasn't expecting that. As soon as like, the third punch or something, you threw one
Yeah, it
in,
was like
or
three or
the
four of them. Yeah.
second, yeah, like two clotheslines. I mean that it just boom, and it did knock me out for a minute. I ain't gonna lie to you. I dazed out a little bit. I got a little confused and I was like, oh, okay, I came here for the title. Okay. And then I did my business.
So let me ask you this question, as we're here with Maverick, who wants to be the next new WVWF hybrid champion. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. You have voice figuratively and literally where all music and wrestling matters. And if you're here on Sports by Radio, do me a favor, go hit the sub button for Maverick's YouTube page. And we're talking here over the next half hour or so about his match coming up to give him that shot against the Chemical Valley gunslinger James Enoch, the WVWF hybrid champion. Okay, let me ask you then this question, because there's so much on the line here. You're wrestling somebody that you haven't wrestled before, but you know him very well. So how are you preparing for this? And is there a chance? And I hate to say this, you've been in this sport a long time, and we also know what happened between you and Enoch when you were in the ring with him. But are you looking past this Saturday and looking at next Saturday already? How are you preparing for this?
I'm not, so I just take one show at a time. You
Okay.
know, I don't really want to waste time worrying about the hybrid title right now because I have Ryan still in the way. So if I don't, if I can't beat him, then what's the point of worrying about? You know what I mean?
Right.
But with preparing for this match, all I got to do is, watch the film from us being in the syndicate, see what his weakness is, see what, I can get out of him. And, I'm gonna watch a couple more matches and then be prepared for Saturday. And hopefully I have my hand raised. It's pretty much all I can say.
Well, okay. Well, all right. Let me ask you a question. I don't know what Enoch is thinking because obviously Enoch's an interesting guy. You and I both know him very well. But do you think Enoch has a preference on who wins Saturday? I know it's a tough question because you've got history with him. We saw
Right.
what Steele did, but do you think he has a preference?
I really don't think he did had a match 1-on-1 with Ryan Steele.
No.
So I'm not sure. I mean, I can.
But he's wrestled you before. He's
Yeah,
wrestled you
that's what
before.
I
We
mean.
know the
Like,
back and forth here on this platform.
yeah. So, I mean, if he has referee will, I'm sure he'll want me in there. That way he can get his 3 count and I get my 2. 3 falls and they don't count.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm still upset over that. I should have that title. You know what I mean? But yeah, he probably picked me. I don't want to get way off topic, but yeah, he probably picked me just because he had a match with me, and I know with Ryan Steele, once he starts chopping, look out. He's a chop shop too.
Yeah, I think that ultimately I know what the fans want, but we'll have to certainly see. And before I get to the chat and promote a few things, you actually did return to the ring this past weekend. And that's going to be important in some ways because you returned and, well, you were certainly quite the surprise because you were a part of the third team that wound up, well, wrestling against the now new WVWF Tag Team Champions. And the reason I bring that up is because, well, the draw and one of
Oh,
those members of the new Tag Team Champions, the one and only Controversy King Wyatt Black, returns to Sportswire Radio Friday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on all Sportswire Radio platforms. To talk about that, he is having a self-described celebration with those WVWF Tag Team Championships, and he is going to talk about what's in store for him and Tony Sane, his tag team partner, against the team of Cease and Desist, Hype Man Dan Lasers, and the one and only the Rare Bird Chris Phoenix. And that was a match that was kind of almost talked about here on this platform. It's gone on and off for months, but the Controversy King Wyatt Black returns here Friday night, and well, you were just in the ring with him, and Wyatt Black got quite a pinfall victory because he pinned that guy Dave Jameson, who's been in the ring with the artist formerly known as Fuego del Sol. And I
hmm
mean, talk to me about your return to the ring, though, that this happened this past weekend, last weekend.
yeah. So pretty much, to be honest, I wasn't prepared for it. I was just told to
Yeah,
show up and do a
obviously.
return. Yeah, and then something happened with Damian Abel, so I had to jump in. Um, yeah, I didn't know it was a hardcore match till the bell rung, and everyone started circling the draw. So I was like, okay, I guess this is a hardcore match. I'm gonna keep my shirt on. I ain't gonna, I'm not gonna lie to you. I kept my shirt on just uh, yeah, I'm old school. I was told I'm never supposed to wear a shirt. So, but
Well, let me ask
regardless
you
of
though.
that,
All right, let's go with this. The reason I bring it up, not to regurgitate the draw, and because Wyatt Black he'll have plenty to say on Friday's show, but I say it in a way that maybe it was a good thing you got out there in the ring, even though sure you weren't prepared, but you're going into Saturday, you don't have ring rust.
right,
This was an
right,
opportunity to give you some reps to get you out there because we know there's so much on the line for you. There's so much on the line because you want to be out here this weekend and next weekend. You want to be and new the WVWF hybrid champion. So really, in a way, being out there was a good thing because you got a chance to get rid of that ring rust and you give yourself an opportunity now to go in there knowing what to expect this Saturday with Ryan Steele and being back out where you've been most comfortable, and that's in the ring.
right, right. I just know this Saturday I won't have tires hitting me and mannequin heads hitting me.
No, and
You
I think
know?
that that's why it was important for you to get out there because it gave you a chance, like I said, to shake that ring rust off. It gives you
Right.
now an opportunity. Hey, I was just out there. Now I
Yep.
know what's on the line. Now I've got myself reacquainted back out there, and I'm going to go out there, and I know I'm going to be out there this weekend and next weekend. And that's why I think it's going to be very important that we all support you and hit that sub button also for Maverick because I see some people here in the chat they want to talk to you. And as a reminder, Friday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, we will have Wyatt Black, who was a part of the draw. It's a completely different group now. And, well, we'll certainly see what happens. Tony Sane, and he's made quite an impact. He's Wyatt Black's tag team partner. You can say what you want about Wyatt Black, but he was the youngest hybrid champion, his words, of all time. And now, well, he's the youngest WVWF tag team champion, one half of them of all time as well. And he may be one of the youngest tag team champions ever in wrestling history, at least in West Virginia. But we'll talk about that later. Let's get to some people here in the chat. I want to plug some things with you. I want to come back to a couple of other things. So let's do that here right now. Zilla's in the house. Thank you, Zilla, for being here. I appreciate you, Zilla. Want to say hello to Princess Jade. I know she'll be out here for us later this week. We're going to try to work in the IMF. We have Robert Scott Thursday, but maybe we'll get them on. We'll see what day we can fill it in. But also, William Renee is here tomorrow. Man, you may know William Renee.
Oh no.
William, I knew you were going to say it. Courtney's going to be so upset, but yes, William Renee. Yeah, William Renee's going to be
Listen,
here. Yeah.
you need to tell him I'm on here on live, challenging him to a match his way in Ohio.
I'll tell you know
Hit
what
me
I'll
up.
make sure you know what I can take care of that. I will actually we'll get him on the stream.
Yeah.
Not
We
in
got
the
business still, tell him.
Well, I'm gonna have him on tomorrow night. He's actually coming on here
Perfect.
because the reason he's coming on here because Dave Jamieson kind of asked for it. I mean, only did Dave Jamieson ask for getting paid by Wyatt Black. He certainly had plenty to say about William Renee here on Sportswire, and that's going to be where he gets his opportunity right before Pro Wrestling Cheap Shots coming up here this weekend. And yeah, I can't wait for that. And William Renee makes his debut to Sportswire Radio. So just saying. And yeah, that'll definitely get some people going. Thank you, Jade. And hello, I'm very happy to see you. Everyone's doing well. Yes, it was a beautiful day here in New York, kind of a fall-like day, but I'm still in summer mode. I'm still going in the pool for whatever days left, but that won't change much longer because fall, the new season has started. Thank you, Jade, for being here. Thank you, Zilla. Want to say hello to my friends in the great state of Ohio, not too far from you, the EWA, saying hello. Hubie Jenkins and the gang. And by the way, speaking of which, I got to wish a big happy birthday to the high authority, Hubie Jenkins. I want to wish him a very happy birthday. I want to thank him for all that he's done here for Sportswire Radio. I want to thank him for all that he's done for the wrestling world. I want to thank him for his friendship these past few months. I want to thank him for the opportunity for working with him and talking to so many of his wonderful talents, some of that he may or may not like out there in the ring. But I just want to thank him for all his support of Sportswire Radio. I want to thank him for everything he's done for the community, his support of All Wrestling Matters. And I really hope that it was the best birthday that he had. And I hope that he had a bunch of tuna dogs on me because I really don't get his love of tuna dogs, but I really do get his love of Sportswire Radio and All Wrestling Matters. And if you can, please join me and hit that sub button for the EWA. And Robert Scott will be here Thursday night, 9:30 p.m. to talk about that. He probably won't be wishing Hubie Jenkins a happy birthday, but I hope everyone joins me in wishing Hubie Jenkins a very, very happy birthday, and the best is yet to come. God bless you. Thank you so much for everything you've done, and I can't wait to see you on here very soon. So happy birthday, and I hope this was the Thrill Mania birthday like for you, and I'm sure the Cleveland Guardians are giving you some happy birthday like wishes these last few weeks, and thank you, Hubie. So wanted to do that. We'll get that out of the way. Also, let's see who else is here in the chat. The legendary James Taylor, who was out there in the ring in the state of Mississippi. Omega Championship Wrestling checks in. I know he'll be back here on Sportswire Radio very soon. The Tyrant King, yes, got a big victory. And if you're here, do me a favor. Hit that sub button for Maverick. Go hit that sub button. You're going to trust me. I know we got a couple of subs since we went on the air, but let's get more of those subs because it's about supporting those who support us. Want to say hello to the enforcer of Sportswire Radio, the IMF Hardcore Champion, Ox McCoy. All hail. Yes, that's really him. And speaking of people who are hardcore, he should definitely meet Dax Preacher. But hopefully he preaches back to getting healthy and on the shelf. But thank you, Hubie. Thank you for subbing for you. And the fans, we're happy to see you. It was a good feeling, nevertheless. A very good
Hmm.
feeling. A well-deserved
Right.
feeling, I may add.
Right.
Yes, it was a good
Yeah, it
feeling.
was
Uh,
something I
also,
won't ever forget. I'll tell you that.
good. You should definitely
Yeah.
remember it. I thought it was the Rock and Roll Express with all those ladies going crazy. I don't know if it was ladies, but it was definitely a lot of fans there. I don't know how many
I
ladies were
have
there.
so since that was brought up, so I was at a show we had Ricky Morton there,
Okay.
and so my wife wanted to come backstage and meet him.
Yeah.
She's gonna hate me for this, but
Oh well,
so
don't say it. We're live. I'll make sure
yeah,
she
no,
doesn't
it's
hear.
okay, it's okay, it's nothing bad, but it's just funny.
Okay, you sure?
So so he was getting dressed. He was in his underwear, and she was standing there, and he turns
Oh
around
well,
and
that's
says,
boy. That's really good. The Miss is
"Yeah,"
gonna
and he's
really
just
hate
like,
you now, boy.
"Excuse me,"
You're gonna
yeah,
be
it's like a,
you're gonna be sleeping on the couch tonight, probably.
he's standing there sweaty tighties, and he's all like, "Excuse me, miss," and then I mean, she was just embarrassed because everyone turned around and looked at her. That was it, but I didn't know if she wanted me to share that, but just
Well,
some
you
of
know
the,
what? Listen, you're gonna be sleeping on the couch. Yeah, I remember as a kid growing up in Brooklyn. My mother's definitely not listening. Remember, there was a couple of times I remember when my dad did sleep on the couch, and it was awkward because we were living in an apartment at the time, and it wasn't like now. I live in a big house. It was definitely different, and I
Mhm.
hope that's not going to be your fate. But I have a feeling it's going to be
Nah.
your fate, and the missus is going to be very, very upset with you on that. Just saying, just saying, but hopefully she went to bed by now and she didn't hear
Yeah.
that. But wait, but watch, she'll be here. But let's get to more people in the chat. Yes, hit the sub button for Hubie. Thank you, Hubie, for all you do. And speaking of people,
Oh man, here we
Daniel
go.
Tafua is here. Just know I was close to attaching that hybrid championship to the belt collection that he's going for. Next time, I hope to get that hybrid championship next. Now, obviously, you're going to win this Saturday, and then you're going to beat the Chemical Valley Gunslinger next Saturday, and then you're going to be the hybrid champion, and then Daniel Tafua is still going to be the
Oh
USWA
man.
Universal Champion, and you're going to now have to wrestle him. I mean, boy, the names Maverick versus Tafua. I mean, boy, I almost will be like a helium balloon just announcing both of your intros.
Yeah, you know what? That actually looks good on paper, I bet.
Yeah, well, you could
But
listen. You could be listen. I want Mr. Tafua to hear this. Didn't I say you could be Cody Two Belts if all goes well to your favor?
uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You
Okay.
know, he'll show up here in red, Daniel Tafua. Daniel Tafua, he's one of my favorites that comes on here
Yeah.
because he always lights up, and he was close, but the collective took it on the chin a couple of weeks ago. I mean, and Mr. Tafua should note that Wyatt Black is here Friday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, to probably talk about how the draw collected more gold, and it was at the expense of the collective, and that's what's going to wind up happening here. I feel like Maverick's going to win, just like my Cleveland Guardians. Oh well, it could be. I mean, it could very well be. I mean, something's in the air. It's September. I was watching the Mets yesterday, and this guy Jacob Young made two catches that almost nobody ever makes in baseball history. Just go look at SportsCenter or Google it. You'll see what I'm talking about, even if you're not a baseball fan. Yes, hello to Mr. Tafua, and happy birthday to Hubie. Thank you, thank you. Yes, we love Hubie. Soon I'll be the USWA Universal Hybrid Champion. That's next on my list. This is my time. I won't be there this coming weekend, but hope James Enoch retains that I can get the right rematch. But you're going to go beat Ryan Steele this Saturday, right? And then the
Right.
following weekend, you're going to be the number one contender to the hybrid championship. And then you're going to
Mhm.
take the hybrid title. And then really, it's going to be you and Daniel Tafua instead.
Mhm. Yeah, and that nice little flag would be good right here.
Going to be a good
Cody
feeling
Two
there.
Belts.
Listen, I mean, our old friend D Get Bundles ain't a two-belt
Oh
champion right
man.
now. He, by the way, I don't know if you saw it, but he's going to Canada now. He's wrestling
Yeah, I
in
seen that.
Manitoba. Boy,
Yeah.
that's going to be, I hope he brings a
Yeah.
winter coat. I hope he brings a winter coat. I hope he brings gloves and mittens and all different stuff like that. Dennis, thank you. Thank you. But I do have something for you. No, Wyatt Black's not coming on tonight. And and I'm going to plug Mav TV, but I do want to give you something because, well, I know I shouldn't, but I want to because you are one of my favorites that comes on here, and I love having you on. I love talking with you, and I can't quite give you the hybrid championship. I can't quite give it to you. Yeah, I know, but I'm sure. Listen, I'll have an announcement about that soon. Don't you worry. I'll definitely have an announcement. I promise you, we'll definitely take care of that. What I'll announce afterwards. But I know I've done something before for you, but I'm going to do it again anyway because, well, I like to, and I like to think I'm a nice guy because, once again, for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you and the WVWF certainly helped build, it's your day again. I decided to give you
All
another day.
right. Yeah, two
Give you another
days.
day.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
2 days.
Tom.
Why not? You know what? I said Cody 2 belts, so why not Cody 2 days?
All right.
Get
I
it,
like
Cody
that.
2 days. That was a good one. That was a good
Oh
one. I
yeah.
thought about that off the top of my head. So
I
we'll give you the
appreciate that.
we'll give you the physical copy. All right. So I want to talk to you about what you're also doing on your YouTube channel. I want to talk about some things you've been doing. You've been going back in your own career. You've been talking about some different things. And I want to do that. I want to talk about Mav TV and what can we expect going forward that as I now make the hockey line change and put some things back up here. Talk to me about what we can see with some new stuff with Mav TV.
Yeah, so pretty much all that is just me going back and telling stories, pretty
There we
much
go.
to give the audience, an idea of what I can, what I've. Oh man, look at them lips. Okay,
You look
but
good
no,
there. I
just
mean, the missus
okay.
probably the missus would probably rather see you there rather than what you just said about Ricky Morton before. She'll definitely be sleeping on the couch if she heard that one.
Yeah. So pretty much all Map TV is me just going back and telling, some really like good stories about what happened to me in my wrestling career.
You talked about some red injuries. You talked about some championship
Right.
stuff you've done, which was pretty cool. I
Yeah.
thought that was really insightful. I watched a couple of them so far.
Yeah, I got my next one is actually the title for it's called My Friend Nate. Of course it's
Of
for,
course.
it's for Ryan James, but um I did get permission from his family to start editing and everything. It's just with my
That's
work
going to be an
schedule.
emotional one for you. We talked about
Oh
that when you
man,
first came on
yeah.
here.
Yeah, and then I haven't talked to him yet, but I'm gonna see if I can get a little video of Ellsworth talking about wrestling me and put on there. But I haven't spoken to him in a while. So actually, since probably I haven't spoken to him since like a month after that match that I had with him. So,
Yeah, we spoke about that
but
on here. Yeah, and I
yeah,
just saw Ellsworth is wrestling in there's a GTS live show, which is a Grimm's
yes,
Toy Show. He's doing that
right,
now. So he's
yeah,
you know, working his way around. But what's this been like almost creating your own vlogs, doing your own what we do here, but rather you're just basically speaking off the hip. I always piggyback off somebody, but what's that been
yeah.
like just
So
going
it's
back and,
just
and watching some of this?
it's really cool because like I go back and do research and it's like, oh wait, that actually happened. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it was that day that, oh wait, this is what happened before.
Right.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to go back and then like, like my audience fans, I should say, they get to actually, get to hear my stories pretty much. And then, like, I have a 10-year-old son, so, he's able to, anytime he wants to know about me, he can come and,
Does
see
he
through the
ask
one.
you? Does he ask you a lot about your
Yeah,
career
I
and
mean,
things? I mean, he's at the age now where he's into it, obviously.
right. So, I will say when he was born, I took time off. I mean, I was gone till probably 3 years of not wrestling just to be a full-time father.
Sure.
And he actually seen a DVD that my face was on and asked me, Dad, what is this? And I put it in, and the first match was me, and he asked if that was me, and that's why I don't do it. So he pretty much told me go do it. Then I just started taking, because I didn't want to, get hurt and not be able to be, a full-time father.
Yeah, we
That's
just had
my
a wrestler on a couple of days ago, a guy Austin Edwards, who said that he was going to stop wrestling in December because he has a daughter and he's getting married, and he's also got a disability that he deals with, and he just physically he won't do it anymore because he's just got a lot that he's worried about. So it's definitely a challenge when you have a young family. I meet
Right.
people, and that's obviously something that's larger than what you guys all do. So it's understandable that you took time off because, well, you had a son, and you were, married and such.
Right. 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 Yeah, but like I said, he used to come to the shows, but he don't like the long travel. I mean, he's been, local shows, but he don't like going
Sure.
3 hour, so
Yeah, you
that's
know
why
what?
he
I
likes
wouldn't even like 3 hours. You're gonna chuckle. I was in. You're gonna probably want to probably give me a code breaker, but I was traveling. I went to a meeting in the it was the upper west side of Manhattan, and it took me like almost 2 hours to get there. And I was like, you know what I said to myself? I said, I don't know how these wrestlers on Sportswire do it. I was like, oh my God, after like the hour and a half in, because I never traveled that far. And it was like I was in the
mm,
car for like felt like 10 years. And I was saying to myself, how do our wrestlers do this? Those long travels to and from, and 3 hours for you is almost like nothing compared to what Tafua and Godric Sandwell and Day have done. But I can understand why
yeah,
your
to
son
be
doesn't
honest
want to
with
go
you,
out
I
there.
used to live out by them and everything, so I understand, their travel time as well. But yeah, I moved a little bit closer but yeah, they do got a longer
Yeah,
travel.
I mean, Godric was here. I think talked about a 9-hour drive a couple times.
Oh my good
Yeah, I
God,
don't know how they
that's
did it. I mean, I think
yeah.
Godric did it he did it a Thursday into a Friday. I'm almost certain because he did Tennessee. He did a Tennessee run a couple times, and
Yeah, I would
you
have to
know,
get a hotel. I couldn't do
I
it
wouldn't
straight.
even go. I would just say,
Nope.
"Listen, thank you very much." But
Hey, I
that's why
mean,
we
it's an
love our wrestlers.
opportunity,
Yeah, well,
You
that's what
take.
it is. And that's why I love our wrestlers so much. That's why I'm here to honor everybody. And, and I think people should really check out some of what you have on Mav TV. And the way that they can do that is by hitting that sub button on your YouTube channel. And there it is. You'll see more content coming up. You'll also see Maverick returning to the ring. We're going to go switch back to that here in a few minutes. But please hit the sub button for me. Please support Maverick, and you'll certainly see him on here. Plus, I'm going to have an announcement about you coming back on. I'm going to raise the stakes for you coming up this weekend and next weekend. So just hang on to that. You don't know what I'm going to
Uh
say. And it's
oh.
not going to be a Wyatt Black mention, but I promise
You
you.
know what? You know what?
What?
You keep saying Wyatt Black in this video, so I'm gonna just bring him up.
You bring him up.
And in our match, um, not this past weekend, but the last weekend, I
Yes.
want to tell you, his coast to coast was amazing. I didn't think he could do it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, but he just landed it. I mean, just I don't know if you've seen it or not, but that coast to coast was beautiful.
Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to watch all of Mary's feed. Now, I saw you and I were talking about this. I saw Tafua's match with Enoch where you came in
Oh, that was
because,
awesome.
which was great. And shout out to the USWA, by the way, because they
Right.
actually posted a video of it. They posted a much, I love Mary, but sometimes I can't sit through the whole feed for 4 hours at a time. Whereas the USWA, they streamed the match where you came in right afterwards. So I knew right away that you were back, which was
Mhm.
great. But I unfortunately didn't get a chance to watch the rest of the show because the Mary's feed, and it's
Yeah.
hard to watch it on a phone. It's hard to,
Yeah. Well, not
get
only
that.
that, but she puts it right behind in front of the crowd, and they're
Yep.
all
Yeah, I
together.
know. It's a little bit when I love Mary, and thank you, Mary, for all you
Right,
do.
right,
But it's
absolutely.
a little
She don't have
tricky.
to do that, but yeah, it is
No,
good because
no.
that's how I get some of my matches on YouTube. I screen record it. I
Well,
mean,
yeah, and well, James Taylor's here in the chat, and he screened his own match that he got an okay angle off. But yeah, listen, I'm excited about what you're gonna do. Let me get to a couple more comments. Just keep your eyes open, Maverick. If you don't, us Samoans always keeps a spear. Oh, King Tafua! Welcome to the wasteland.
oh man,
Welcome to the
that
wasteland.
got me a little nervous. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, you know what? You don't have to worry about him. He's not going to be there this coming Saturday. You've got something else, and I want to come back to that here. So I want to give you the opportunity now to say a few things. First, I want to give you the opportunity. If you have any final words for Ryan Steele here coming up before this Saturday, what would they be?
I'm I'm keeping my eye open on that code breaker. That's the only thing you can bring me down with. So I mean, I don't really like, it's
Yeah, I
just all
know.
business. I'm not a shit talker.
So
But
almost
yeah,
in a way, this is business. This is
right,
listen.
right,
I'm
right.
here. It's business, and I just want to go out there and get the job done, more or less. It's not like,
Pretty
hey,
much, yeah.
because you also know what's on the line. You know what this could mean to your career. You know that you don't know how many more opportunities are left. So that's
Right,
why the best thing you can do is go out there, prepare these next 3 or 4 days. If you hit the gym, if you watch a tape or two, and put your positioning yourself to where you need to take care of business because it's win or go home. It's a win or go home matchup. So for you, there's no reason to say anything other than I'm going to be ready and I'm going to be ready to get the job done and become the number one contender to a championship that I've long coveted. And it's a match that's over 4 months in the making.
right. And not only that, but 4 months building up, and then if I lose, I mean, I don't know what's next for me. You know what I mean? Like, where do I go from there? Like, if I don't get the
You know
pinfall.
what? I think what you're going to tell me, because I'm going to ask you about Enoch in a minute, is that you're not thinking about what's next. You're not thinking about what could be if you lose because you got to first get through this Saturday. To me, I'm
Right,
treating you like a team right now chasing the playoffs. I'm treating you like a team in the NFL or Major League Baseball that you got to win. I mean, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts. So to me, really, there's no talking about what could happen after October 4th. There's no talking about what could happen after this Saturday if you don't win because it's win or go home. Actually, it's win or go home the next 2 weekends, as a matter of fact.
right,
Because
right,
remember, you win. Listen, you win this Saturday. Okay, great. Listen, big win, no question. Congratulations. But what you've got your eye on is next Saturday, and you got to still win next Saturday because, like you said, you don't know about the future. So really, you got to win or go home twice, back to
right,
back.
right. And be back on the couch watching on Mary's live stream.
Yeah, well, we don't want you to be on the couch, and we're gonna tell the
Right,
missus
right.
not to have you sleep on the couch. And Daniel Tafua wants you to acknowledge him. Well, I'm sure he'll be back on Sportswire in October. I love my Daniel Tafua. I think the collective are coming back, actually, as a matter of fact, in a few weeks. I think we talked about this already. And he is the tribal chief. And thank you, Hubie. So I guess then I have to ask you. So let's go along with it. Let's say you win this Saturday. You get ready for next Saturday. And I ask you, what would it mean to you then to become a new WVWF hybrid champion?
First, I would just tell Ryan James I did it. That's my best friend that's on that belt. I mean, it's it's not just wrestling. He was my
It's
brother.
extra. It means extra meaningful
Yeah,
because we know the
absolutely.
history and how close you were with him. And Enoch's even talked about the hybrid championship and making it the workhorse, the measuring stick championship. He brought up Ryan James here on Sportswire. So this championship, as we spoke about with you in the past, it means almost in some ways more than winning the world title because of who's on that belt.
Right, right. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was getting at is like, yeah, you got the heavyweight belt, you got the Mountain State, but you got something there that has my brother's name on that I never held that I would love to do it in his honor, and that's pretty much why I want it. Because I mean, in my entrances, he's always there with me. I give him his pop too. Why not have the belt that has his name on it?
Sure. Absolutely. No, no, no. Listen, I think that's going to mean extra to you, especially once next Saturday happens and you can win that hybrid championship. There's no question that there's a lot on the line here. And one more time, please go out there, hit the sub button for Maverick on his YouTube channel. And I have no doubt that you'll see some footage from when Maverick wrestles this Saturday and next Saturday and becomes a new WVWF Hybrid Champion. But Maverick, it's not just going to be you're the new WVWF Hybrid Champion, because I'm going to raise the stakes a little bit, because, I think I'm a nice guy. Obviously, we've given you Cody 2 days, and that's certainly a well-deserved honor, and congratulations to you. We'll make sure you get the physical copy when we're off the air. We'll take care of that. But I'll tell you what, Cody Maverick, I'll tell you what. Speaking of Cody 2 days, you go out there. We know you're going to take care of business here this Saturday. Next Saturday, you're going to wrestle. You're going to wrestle the Chemical Valley Gunslinger, James Enoch, in a match 4 months in the making. You're going to become a new WVWF Hybrid Champion. And you win next Saturday, I'm going to make you a new 2-time Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer, the one and only Cody 2 Hall of Fame. That's right. Cody 2 Hall of Fame. We'll bring you right back on. We'll bring you right back on after you win that hybrid championship next Saturday. And we'll have a ceremony. We'll have you come on here and we'll make you a Cody 2 Hall of Fame. Because I don't think that other Cody, he's been, let alone not one Hall of Fame yet. But I'm sure they'll fix that. But we'll raise the stakes a little bit higher. You might want to say in honor of Hubie Jenkins here in the chat. And I'll make you Cody 2 Hall of Fames. You go take home that hybrid championship from the Richardson building coming up next Saturday.
Would I be the first one?
No, there's like a bunch of multiple times.
Oh, come on, Tom.
Listen, I've had the Hall of Fame for almost 2 years. I mean, my whole monitor.
I get it.
My whole monitor, Justin Parsley's been in there 11 times. I mean, I have guys that have been in here 5 and 6 times. So,
gotcha.
But listen, we've only known you for 5 months. So, I mean, listen.
Hey, that's a record though, right? That's the record.
Yeah, actually, you know what? To get in there 2 times in 5 months as a new Hall of Famer, yeah, actually.
Let's see Wyatt Black do that. Let's see Wyatt Black do that.
Well, now you gave him an idea of what he's going to
do. Oh, I should have kept him up.
Yeah, maybe we'll take that and scratch that out of the footage. He's going to probably remind me that. But I'll tell you what, we'll leave him aside. He'll be here Friday. He'll talk about his own moment, and he pinned Dave Jamieson, by the way. I'm sure he's going to certainly talk about that the entire episode. That's going to be bigger than what he's done already in the past. So it's going to be bigger than Wildcat. It's going to be bigger than Judo Jones, bigger than Damian Abel. I'm sure we'll talk about all that with him on Friday. But I'll tell you, like I said, you know what's at stake, and we'll take care of that. But I have no doubt you'll get through this Saturday first. But before we get to closing thoughts, is there anything else that you want to say before we get to closing thoughts?
I think we covered everything, really.
Yeah.
So, yesterday was one of our number 1 fans' birthday. So shout out to Bren. So I believe he's 3 now. So yeah, happy birthday.
How old?
I think he's 3 years old.
Wow, 3.
Yeah.
Some people think I'm still 3. Yeah, you know what? Thankfully, he's out of the terrible 2s. I'm still. You know what? My joke is I'm still in the terrible 2s. You can ask my mother about that. I'm still in the terrible 2s. But happy birthday to him, boy. Happy birthday, happy birthday, and thank you for everything you do cheering the WVWF. And yes, I appreciate you bringing that up. And happy birthday, my friend. Hope you have a wonderful day. And Hubie also wanted to say that he shared a locker room with Wildfire Tommy Rich, the little legend. How about that?
I did. I think we did. I think he was with whenever he was with WVWE with us too. Is he? I believe he has like bleach blonde hair, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Him and his cousin, I believe, was with us at a show whenever we were partnering with Legends Pro Wrestling.
Yes, I know Legends Pro Wrestling.
I do remember him now. Yeah, very nice.
Oh, wow. What a small world. Yeah, I mean.
I know, right?
What a small world. Yeah, Hubie's from right outside Cleveland. Maybe you guys have run into each other with a Sonic or somewhere else. You never know. I mean, you never know. But that's
Cleveland's right over the hill from me. So
see, there you go. I mean, well, I'll connect you with. I'll tell you what. I'll connect you with him. He's you will get more bookings with him. I don't know, but and in addition to WVWF, don't get any ideas, anybody.
Well, I will tell you this. Since you said anything brought up, so I'm glad we brought that up. But 2026, I gotta call it quits for a little bit. I gotta get knee
What?
surgery.
Well, all right, but you know what?
Yeah,
We're not gonna talk about that now. We're not gonna talk about that now
but
because you've got two big matches coming up first,
I
and we got
know, but I
two
just,
Cody two Hall of Fame. So we're gonna have you on in a couple of weeks after you take care of business. So we're gonna save that. So I'm confident that we're gonna save that. We're gonna save that.
well, what I'm getting at, Tom, I'm sorry for the bad news, but I'm trying to get like a lot of dates for, try to get as much as I can built. Like every
I'll
week,
connect you with Hubie. I'll connect you with
I got you.
Hubie after. We'll take care of that. I'll connect you with him when we're off the air. But yeah, I'm not gonna go and talk about that tonight
All
because
right, no, I didn't mean to bring it
we're
up
gonna
and
have
get
no,
the bad news,
no,
but
no, no, no. It's great. It's great. Well, it's not great, but it's
right,
great that you mention it. But thankfully, we've got 2025 a lot left, and especially you
right, right,
taking care
right.
of business this Saturday and then next Saturday becoming Cody 2 Hall of Fame. So we'll save that. But I do want to pass the baton and end on a high note to quote Hubie. And let me give you the floor. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say? Well, I put your YouTube link up one more time and we'll go with that.
We pretty much covered everything,
Well, there you go. Well, then you know what? Make my life easier because William Renee's here tomorrow, and I
Oh
don't think
man,
it's not gonna be an easy one with William. I can see it now. Courtney Wood's gonna be here. Dave Jameson and the Collective are gonna be here, and everybody else is gonna be here. I'm sure Thomas Taft is gonna be. I just spoke to Thomas Taft the other day, and a lot of people are gonna want to hear what he has to say. But in the meantime, I want you to go out there and hear what Cody Maverick has to say by hit that sub button for me on YouTube. Please support him. Please support all the great things he does. He's got a lot to talk about here, and he's going to be in action coming up this Saturday against Ryan Steele in a number one contenders match, a winner-go-home match, you might want to say, and then I'll determine who will wrestle James Enoch, the Chemical Valley Gunslinger, for his WVWF Hybrid Championship. Please support the WVWF also on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and as a reminder, Friday night, Wyatt Black, the controversy king himself, is going to be here on Sportswire Radio, and he'll be quite the draw, I'm sure. And oh, by the way, the draw is in action, and I'm sure that's going to certainly draw Hype Man Dan Laser and Chris Phoenix's attention, but a number of things. But also, this is yours. It's now Cody 2 days. Congratulations on that. I will make sure that you get this off the air, and can't wait to see what you do this weekend. Can't wait to talk about everything you're going to do and make history in a couple of weeks, and looking forward to it, and good luck out there, my friend.
I appreciate that. And by the way, don't forget my boy Nate Steele. He got his number one contenders match too.
Yes.
So he got, so hopefully, Anarchy has two single titles, coming up. So I just wanted to, put a
Well, you
shout
know
out
what?
to him.
Listen, Nate Steele has been quite a topic here on Sportswire. He has been quite a topic. He has dealt with the likes of Wyatt Black and Tony Sane, especially over these past few months, and Aaron James, and he's looking to get his payback. And we'll certainly see. A lot to look forward to, a lot to talk about. I'm sure that'll be a topic as well on Friday's show. But this is the next new WVWF Hybrid Champion, the one and only Maverick himself. And like I said, he'll be in action this Saturday against Ryan Steele in a number one contenders match for that Hybrid Championship. And the winner of that match, which we know will be Maverick, will be in the ring the following Saturday against the Chemical Valley Gunslinger, James Enoch. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all music and wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, you're going back to your regularly scheduled programming. I'll be here tomorrow night with William Renee. And yeah, that's going to definitely be one we're looking forward to. He makes his debut, his long-awaited debut to Sportswire Radio. So thank you, everybody here. Also, I want to wish everybody a happy new year in the Jewish community. It is Rosh Hashanah, Lashana Tova, everybody. I hope it is a sweet new year. Happy 5786, everybody. It's the best is yet to come. And let this day be one that's meaningful. Let this be the year where all your dreams come true. Let this be a day of repent. Let this be a day of prayer. And I certainly know that the best is yet to come. So Lashana Tova, everybody. Have a sweet new year, a joyful one. And Baruch Hashem to everybody out there. And happy Rosh Hashanah to all my Jewish brothers and sisters out there. But thank you, everybody, here for tuning in on Sportswire Radio. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global radio, into the Sportswire Radio, where all music and wrestling matters. Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow.